On tonight's edition of the Overtime, the Flagstaff girls have been dominating all season, and as the playoffs approach, can they continue to win? The Flagstaff boys have been just as impressive as they look for another section title. The NAU men are in the midst of a tough season. How can they turn things around? And the NAU track season is underway, and we'll have all the latest updates from the Jacks coming up next on the Overtime. Welcome to this edition of the Overtime. I'm your host, Jason Friedman, and joining me tonight in studio for our very first show of 2016, sports reporter Matt Stern.
Jason, I'm excited to be here for the first show of 2016. Let's just get right into it and talk some sports, shall we?
Well, let's get going then. The high school basketball season is winding down here in Flagstaff, and the Lady Eagles have been very impressive. Matt, just how good has this team been?
Jason, the Lady Eagles have been on a mission all season long and are back in the playoffs for the fourth straight year in a row. This team made a deep run in the playoffs last year, making it all the way to the quarterfinals. Now, they returned most of the players from last year's team, and they are looking to go all the way this year. They are extremely experienced and have great chemistry with 7 seniors on the roster. These seniors only know how to win, as they have never lost or they have never missed the postseason in their high school careers. They enter these playoffs as the 13th ranked team in the state and with an unblemished 12-0 record at home. I know these Lady Eagles will not be satisfied with anything less than to make it to the state title game. With all the experience they have playing with each other and in the playoffs, I expect this team to go even farther than they did last year.
Well, Matt, as good as those girls at Flagstaff have been, the girls over at Coconino are not far behind their rivals this year. The Panthers won their first game in their sectional tournament on Tuesday in a double overtime thriller against Moon Valley. The Lady Panthers were led by Marissa Copley's 14 points and 12 rebounds as the team looks to hold on to the 16th seed in the state tournament. If they can hang on to that 16th seed, they will get home court advantage in the first round. Well, Matt, moving over to the boys, what have you seen so far this season?
Yeah, Jason, the MPA Spartans had somewhat of a pedestrian season this year with a lot of ups and downs. They finished with an 11-13 record and missed the playoffs after making it to the postseason last year. Now, an 11-13 record is not a bad record by any means, as it is extremely hard to win high school basketball games. But I'm sure the Spartans are a little disappointed and expected to have a better season. Now, they played great at home where they had a 7-3 record, but they really struggled on the road going 1-6 away from NPA. Some of those road games were really close, and they were games that they could have or should have gone the Spartans' way. If this team can improve on winning a few more road games next year, they will definitely be in the playoff discussion.
Well, as good as those girls have been over at Flagstaff, the boys team has been just as good, if not better. The boys finished 15-3 this season and will look to win their third straight section title as they compete in the section tournament this week. The section tournament, to host a tournament game and hope for a strong showing in the sectional tournament to secure a first round bye. Now, because we pre-taped this show, we do not have results from Thursday's sectional games, but don't worry because Jacob Larson will have all those scores and more for you Monday night on NAZ Today. Sticking on the basketball court, the NAU men's team had high hopes coming into this season after last year's improbable CIT tournament run, but some injuries and bad luck have derailed their season. Matt, what can you say about the Jacks to this point?
Yeah, Jason, needless to say, the Jacks obviously have really struggled this season due to their youth and inexperience playing at the college level. But on the bright side, they still have a chance to make the NCAA tournament if they can find a way to get hot and win their conference tournament. Now, speaking on next season, they return all of their players except for one, including Kaluna and Yanku, who will be returning as seniors. And they also get back senior Jordan Martin, who has missed most of the year due to injury, as Martin took a medical redshirt, which will allow him eligibility next year despite him being a senior this year. Now, I expect this team to be much better in the future going forward, Jason.
Well, Matt, despite the down season, when I look at the Jacks, I see a lot of optimism going forward. Obviously, everybody wants to win right away, but this year they've been able to get some serious playing time for some of the younger players on this team. The Jacks have 12 freshmen on the roster and have been able to get some of them some serious, important minutes going down the stretch this season. If Coach Murphy continues to develop these young players the rest of this season and into the offseason, I look for this team to come back with a vengeance and surprise a lot of people next season. Now, staying on campus, Matt, the NAU track team has a history of dominating the Big Sky Conference. Can this team win another conference championship?
Jason, I think NAU is the favorite to win the Big Sky every year in track. Having the luxury to train at an elevation of 7,000 feet gives them a distinct advantage. And an athlete we should all go and watch at least once is Futsum Zienassellase. He is widely considered one of the greatest track athletes in NAU history, and he looks to add on to his legacy as he qualified for 4 events at the Big Sky Championships. This week, he was named Big Sky Athlete of the Week for the 3rd time after running a mile in under 4 minutes, which was good for 2nd best in the country and 2nd best in walk-up Sky Dome history.
Well, Matt, like we said, the NAU track team has been dominating the Big Sky competition for years now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. With the conference championships coming up later this month, 19 Lumberjacks have already qualified for the championships heading into this weekend. And with impact athletes like Nathan Whites and standout transfer Isaiah Kennedy, I have big hopes for the Lumberjacks this year. Well, coming up after the break, Matt caught up with the newest basketball team on the block. Don't go anywhere.